Tuiara, and I came from Yakutia. It's in eastern Siberia. It's actually the whole territory of Yakutia considered as the northern part of Russia. I will be presenting on the topic about the nursing, and my supervisor is Lorna Butler. She isn't here today, and Kathy Worker, she's right here. Purpose of research. As we know, the most important goal for society is to provide health care which is affordable and accessible to everyone. Such care should be given regardless of place of residence and social status. However, people in circumpolar north or east in the north are facing problems with receiving appropriate health services. It's not a secret that there is a problem providing the high standard healthcare in the more than rural areas like the north. And I remember as our director, Ken Cox, said about it, the world's agenda on the problem solving is aimed to these solving problems of the southern regions like sub-Saharan Africa or Asia, or whether it's healthcare, research, or innovation. So the North have to take responsibility for itself because we're rich of strong people, rich nature, and resources. So the northern harsh climate and difficult living conditions make people's life challenging. Development has brought to the northerners not only benefits but some negative influences such climate change, pollution, or diseases of the modern civilizations like diabetes, cancer, depressions, anxiety. Tuberculosis is a real problem in the north. I compared it in northern Saskatchewan. It's a home only of 3.6% of the whole population of the province, but it has all 54% of the provincial cases of tuberculosis. And in Russia, the whole country is considered as the country's high rates of TB, and Yakutia, when I came from, the rates of tuberculosis are 8.3% higher than Russian national rates. The North population is highly dispersed, and people live in small rural communities like here in Lavange or in Yakutia, Baragonce, where I come from, where live 5,000 people. When it became increasingly hard to provide health care, nurses are recruited as the healthcare professionals to provide services in these territories. Background. Canada and Russia are the two biggest countries in the world. We spread across northern regions. These territories have very similar landscapes and climate conditions, and while I'm driving here, I noticed that the highway is really similar as there was when I drive in Russia and Yakutia. The trees are the same and the lakes look similar. But in terms of the nursing, I found differences. While in Canada, a bachelor degree is the entry requirement for entry to practice as a nurse. In Russia, the higher education in its beginnings, and it's just started to be implemented across the country. Canadian Nurses Association is a long-standing and well-established organization, but in Russia, the Nurses Association started its work only in 2002, 12 years ago. For the purposes of the research, I did literature review on nursing history of both countries. Another work was done for the review of the Russian legislature because regulation of the nursing in Russia is still in the hands of the federal government, like regulation of education and the profession. I interviewed as well Nikolai Dishkovsky, is a dean of department of nursing in Northeastern Federal University in Yakutsk, as the part of the participant of the nursing education development in Yakutia. Also, as part of the internship, I attended the International Remote Presence Conference this year in March, hosted by the College of Nursing. in Saskatoon, and also I was in the 8th International Conference of Arctic Social Sciences in the University of Northern British Columbia. Key findings. Comparing the early history of Russia and Canada history of nursing, there are some key similarities. First, the religious orders played a key role in the early expansion of provision of nursing. The organizations of Sisters of Mercy in Russian monasteries started to work was providing the help to sick people, and in Canada, both English or French orders like Grey Nuns and Sisters of Providence started to provide nursing care to the people. The second similar aspect was that nursing in both countries underwent a period of development initiated by nurses themselves. In Russia, it was the communities of the Sisters of Mercy, and in Canada, already in early 20th century, under the Agnes Mary Snelly, Canada was a strong leader of the international collaboration with the United Kingdom and American United States. Also, there is a clear differences in the professional development of nursing. Of course, the historical, political, socio-economic differences between two countries impacted on the professional development of the nursing. The federal government, as I mentioned, remained a centralized force in Russia in controlling education standards and profession. Ministry of Education and Ministry of Public Health, they are responsible for the providing educational programs and curriculum at universities. And in Canada, the Canadian Association of Schools of Nursing has a responsibility on national level to establish standards of education. Nursing became a significant profession in Canada already in the beginning of the 20th century, as I mentioned, through the active work of nursing leaders. But in Russia, Sisters of Mercy organization, they've been only concentrated in larger cities and did not provide services in rural areas. So after the October Revolution in 1970s, Soviet Union, they followed their own distinctive path to providing them health care in Russia. And only after the USSR collapsed in 1991, Russia started to openly engage in global processes. In conclusion, Russia, as I mentioned, just started to providing higher education nurses in universities in 2010, and its process is just expanding now. Despite the strong differences and just few historical similarities between Russia and Canada, Russia can follow the Canadian way of providing the nurses with higher education. For example, the program Nurses Learn Where You Live was invested to distribute learning in northern locations like here in La Ronge, in this college, or in Tuiara Cross, or first year of education in Buffalo Narrows and Creighton. The usage of the innovative technologies of the remote presence for education in northern communities address problems there, such as shortage of the health professionals or teachers. Also, the higher education helps to increase the quality of health care by nurses, raising it to the new level, and increasing recruitment for nurses in the northern regions in Canada or Russia is a central factor in moving to a profession forward as essential for the provision of health care. As I mentioned in the beginning, that every person, regardless where they live, their social position, or has the right to get high quality, accessible and affordable health care. This ideology demands that healthcare professionals should be well educated in order to provide the best services. I think like the main here is collaboration. I think collaboration between Russia and Canada is a foundation for the provision of high quality healthcare in the north. And this works started to develop, supported by the initiative of the University of the Arctic and College of Nursing, University of Saskatchewan, and College of Nursing in Northeastern Federal University in Yakutsk. They some kind of started joint educational program in nursing, and it should have been a summer institution this August in Yakutsk, but it was postponed because of the political stuff between Canada and Russia. But it will happen next year, I hope so, and Lawrence hopes so. So that's it.